Hello student, in previous video we have seen about the force, definition of the force, balance force, unbalance force, and also see the effects of force. Now in this video we will see the law of motion. The first time the law of motion which is given by the Galileo. According to the Galileo, he described that an object move with a constant speed. It is move a constant speed until and unless any external force is applied on them. That means if an object is moving on a frictionless path and no other force is acting upon it, the object would be a moving forever. And that is there is no unbalanced force working on the object. The Galileo first time he said that the object move with a constant speed when no force act on them. That means if any object is moving a straight line with a uniform motion, a straight line frictionless uniform motion, then it will moving forever. That is, there is no unbalanced force working on the object, then it is possible. But if you are see the practically, then the practically it is not possible, because some of the frictional force is acting upon the object like air, molecular frictional force, etc. So, but we can say that, but the practically it is not possible for any object, because to attain the condition of zero, or you can say the unbalanced force, is impossible. The force of friction or force of air and many other forces are always acting upon the object. Now the Newton's law of motion. After the Galileo, Newton introduced a law of motion. According to Newton's, he gave the three law which is based on the motion: Newton's first law, second law, and the third law. So it is known as a Newton's law. The first law of Newton's law is a law of inertia. The inertia means any object that have a tendency to retain their state. So that is known as a inertia. Any object is remain in the state of rest or in a uniform motion along a straight line until it is compelled to change the state by the applying external force. Any object which is remain in the state of rest means if we are if any object it is in a stationary phase, then it is a have a tendency to be in a stationary phase only if you are not applying any kind of outer force. Then, and if suppose the any object which is moving in a uniform motion, then it is continue to do the uniform motion until and unless we are applying any external force. Let's see the explanation part. If any object is in the state of rest, then it will remain in the rest until the external force is applied to change its state. Similarly, an object will remain in the motion until an external force is applied over it to change its state. This means all the objects resist to in the changing of their state. The state of any object can be changed by the applying external force only. Now let's see the Newton's first law in everyday life. A person standing in a bus fall backward when the bus is start moving suddenly. Why this happened? This is happened because the person and the bus both are in rest condition while the bus is not moving. But as the bus start moving, the legs of the person that is also start moving along with the bus. But the rest of the portion of body, it is have a tendency to remain the in a rest condition, and because that due to that the person fall backward if we are if it is a if he is not alert. Let's see the next example. A person standing in a moving bus falls forward if driver applies the brake suddenly. This happened because when the bus is moving, the person standing in it also in a motion along with the bus, as we see in the first example, same kind of example and same kind of theory is also applied over here. But when the driver applies the brake, the speed of the bus is suddenly decreased. and then later on it is comes under to the rest condition suddenly. So what happened in this condition? In this condition, the leg of the person which are in a contact with the bus, which is comes in the rest, while the rest of the part of his body have a tendency to remain in motion, and because of this person falls forward if he is not alert. The third one, that before hanging the wet clothes over a laundry line, usually many jerks are given to the clothes to get them dry quickly. Because of the jerk, the droplets of water from the pores of the clothes on the ground and reduce the amount of water in the clothes dry, and due to that the clothes dry quickly. And this is happen because when we are applying a suddenly we are applying the jerk, suddenly jerk, then the water droplets is fall, because until and unless the water drop have a tendency to remain in rest condition, so it is attached with the clothes only. So this is happen because when the suddenly clothes are made in a motion by giving a jerk, the water droplets in it have to a tendency to remain its a rest, and they are separated from the clothes and fall to the ground. Let's see the fourth example. When the pile of coin on the carom board is hit by a striker, the coin only at the bottom moves away, leaving a rest of the pile of the coin at the same place. Every time, maybe you all are feel that whenever you play the carom board, so after the hitting, all the piles it's remain the same. Only the lower, the bottom pile is only moving. So why this is happen? This is happen because when the pile is stuck with the striker, the coin at the bottom comes in the motion, while the rest of the all the piles that have a tendency to retain their own state, means all the pile which is in a rest condition. Only the last pile is moving, or you can say it's a change their state due to the applying a maximum force. So the pile has a tendency to remain in the rest, and they were vertically falls the carom board, and they remain at the same place. Now let's see the next topic. The next topic, it is a mass and the inertia. If asked that write down the relationship between the mass and the inertia, then we can say that the mass and the inertia, it is directly proportional to each other. How? Inertia means to retain their tendency to retain their original position. If it is in a rest condition, then it object is trying to be in a rest condition. If the object it is in a moving condition, then the object is trying to be in moving condition only. So it is called the inertia. And the mass means the weight. If the mass is more, then the inertia of an object is also more. So we can say that the mass and the inertia is directly proportional to the each other. And the property of an object, because of the which it is resist to get the disturbed state, is called the inertia. Inertia of an object, it is measured by its mass. The inertia is directly proportional to the mass, as I told you, means this means the inertia increase with the increase in a mass, and it is decrease with the decrease in a mass. How it is happen? Let's talk an example so you can easily understand. A heavy object will have more inertia than the lighter one, and in other words we can say that the natural tendency of an object that resists the change in state of motion or a rest of the object is called the inertia. So the heavy object have a more inertia, thus it is difficulty to push or pull a heavy box over the ground than the lighter one. Now let's see the next physical quantity. It's a momentum. Momentum, we can say that it is the power of motion of an object. So the momentum is the power of motion of an object, and it is denoted by the p. P means momentum, and the product of velocity and the mass is called the momentum. If asked that what is momentum, then you can write down that the momentum is the power of motion and motion of an object, and it is a product of velocity and the mass is called the momentum. and as I told you, momentum is denoted by the p. So therefore the momentum of an object is equal to a mass into velocity. For mass we can write down the small m, and for the velocity a small v. So where the p is equal to momentum, m is equal to mass of the object, and the v is equal to velocity of the object. So the formula of momentum, p is equal to mv. Now let's see the explanation part to understand the momentum. A person get injured in the case of hitting by a moving object such as a stone, tables or anything because of the momentum of the object. So if any of the object who have a mass and have a velocity, means uh, if you are hitting any person by the speed, by the stone, then it is definitely injured. But if we are passing with a lower speed, then it is not injured. Why? Because the speed is increase the intensity, or you can say it is increase the force. That's why it is easy to injure any person. So we can say that the person get injured in the case of hitting by a moving object such as a stone, pebbles or anything because of the momentum of the object. Even a small bullet is able to kill a person when it is fired from the gun because of its the momentum due to the great velocity. If you are throw the bullet with our hand, then it is not harm or it is not injured any person. But if we are using that bullet with the gun, so what happened? Gun is suddenly increase the velocity of the bullet, and due to that, it is a it is a create the enough force to kill any person. So even a small bullet is able to kill a person when it is fired from a gun because of it the momentum due to the great velocity. A person get injured severely when hit by a moving vehicle because of the momentum of vehicle due to the mass and velocity. As we know that the at the road, due to the high speed, that is a several accident is happen and the person get injured severally when it is hit by a moving vehicle because of the momentum of a vehicle due to the mass and the velocity. Now the next physical quantity, as we study that the momentum. So now in this topic we will discuss about the relationship between the momentum and the mass. What is the relation between movement and mass? As we describe in the example as well, that if the mass is there increased, then the momentum of object is also increased. So we can say that since the momentum is the product of mass and the velocity, from the equation also we know that the p is equal to m and m into v of an object. So this means the momentum is directly proportional to the mass and the velocity. If we are increase the mass, that means the momentum is also increase. Same like it is also apply for the velocity. If we are increase the velocity, then it is also increase the momentum. So the momentum increase with the increase of either mass or a velocity of an object. This means if a lighter and the heavier object is moving with the same velocity, then the heavier object will have a more momentum than the lighter one. If a small object is moving with a great velocity, as we see the bullet example, it has a tremendous momentum, and because of this momentum, it can harm an object more severely. For example, a small bullet having a little mass even kills a person when it is fired from the gun. And usually, the road traffics or road accidents prove more fatal because of a high speed than the slower speed. And this is happened because the vehicle running with a high speed have a high, or you can say the greater momentum compared to the vehicle which is running a slower speed. And next video we will see about the momentum of an object which is in a state of rest. Thank you.